Have you ever looked up at the night sky and felt a sudden sense of vertigo? It is the suspicion that we are drifting through a massive, lifeless void, a universe that lacks any specific map or destination. C.S. Lewis explored this specific dread through his protagonist, Elwyn Ransom. In his travels across the planets, Ransom explicitly asks if the universe is entirely without a central plan or pattern. It is a pervasive anxiety, the thought that our history, our struggles, and our entire existence are merely a small accident in a disorganized, uncaring chaos. To find an answer, Lewis takes us to a world far from the shadows of Earth. Ransom stands on the pristine, unfallen paradise of Paralandra, the planet we call Venus. A cosmic battle has just been won. Evil was successfully rejected, and now angelic beings are formally handing the rule of this world over to a human king and queen. At this moment of triumph, Ransom's questions about cosmic meaning are answered by a sudden, multidimensional vision, a shifting, complex reality known as the Great Dance. The vision begins as a cascade of disembodied planetary voices. They sing out the hidden laws that govern the structure of the universe. Human logic assumes that a fair universe must be a flat one, where every piece is identical and placed on the exact same level. The voices describe a different order. These flat stones lift and rearrange themselves, locking together until they form a load-bearing, balanced arch. In this architecture, cosmic justice isn't about being the same. It is a system where every piece must be unique to support the weight of the whole. The perspective shifts again, zooming away from the planet's surface and into the dark void between the stars. In this vastness, we usually search for a single fixed center, a point of importance that our own world is inevitably far away from. The Great Dance redefines how importance is measured across this physical scale. This passage in the text states that in the divine design, even the smallest speck of matter holds the same weight. It says, each grain is at the center. The dust is at the center. Physical size is irrelevant. In the Great Dance, every single particle acts as the absolute center of creation, for which everything else was made. What began as a song now becomes a direct visual experience, a sight that reaches into 4 dimensions. Ransom sees a vast system of intertwining light cords and fluid energy, constantly braiding and intersecting across the dark. The vision highlights tiny, sparkling particles within the pattern. These represent the things we think are massive, all of our empires, our global climates, and fallen civilizations. Contrasting with that dust are thick, luminous cords. These represent the elements that actually endure, individual souls and eternal truths. What looks like a background detail or a marginal decoration is actually the master figure. The pattern is intricate, and every movement within it is necessary. The vision abruptly clears. Ransom stands in the quiet, ordinary daylight of the Paralandrian morning. While Ransom felt he watched for moments, the king reveals an entire year has passed since they first met on the mountaintop. The human mind cannot hold the perspective of eternity for long. It can withstand only brief glimpses before it must return to the constraints of linear time. Ransom must leave this order and return to Earth, a world characterized by its darkness and what the king calls a false start. To travel back, he is sealed inside a dark casket. He carries a physical, bleeding wound on his heel, a lasting mark from his struggle with evil. The comfort of the Great Dance lies in the idea that our confusion is a product of our limited sight. As this passage puts it, there seems no plan because it is all plan. There seems no center because it is all center. Ransom returns to a broken world not with a sense of despair, but with the knowledge that the Great Dance is already weaving even our fractures into a complete design.